Today we are going to start math with lesson 1-1. In your table of contents, I want you to go ahead and put under number 1, place value of whole numbers. Don't worry, because I'm going to teach you what a whole number is. I'm sure that you haven't heard it before. If you have, awesome, that's great. But we're going to talk about the place value of whole numbers. Remember, in your notebook we made a table of contents, so you're going to go ahead and write that in there. And then you're going to turn to the next fresh and clean page. If at any time during the video you need to pause it because you did not get something written down, please feel free to pause it. Now, you should not sit there for 72 minutes with it paused. You still have things to do. But if you didn't catch something, if I go too fast anywhere, just go ahead and pause the video. This is on our next fresh and clean page. Make sure that your line is here. My holes are way up here on outside of my picture range, but your red line is on this side and your writing on this side. Your title should go on the top here, place value of whole numbers. And then every math lesson I always do a star right here, and I do an I can statement. So this is what we will be able to do by the end of this lesson. I can write numbers in different forms and tell you the place value. So go ahead and get that written. Make sure you have a period at the end and a capital at the beginning. Remember, I'm going to ask to see your notes, so make sure you're writing your notes down. Whole number. This is the definition of a whole number. A whole number is a number that is the complete set of something. So, for instance, if I order pizza, when the pizza comes, it is a whole pizza. That is one whole. One is a whole number. Other whole numbers would be like 20 or 23. 23 is a whole number. 4,764 is a whole number. Any number that does not have a decimal. So if I say, oh, it's $2.50, this is not a whole number. Just because I don't write something in my notebook doesn't mean you don't write it down. So everything that I just wrote in this area, make sure that you have in your notebook. That's why there's an open space there, so that you can put this information in there. So a whole number is any number that does not have a decimal. It is complete. We have 23 items. We have one full pizza. We have 4,764. These are all whole numbers. I know for sure this is going to take you time to be able to copy down. So go ahead and pause the video. I would like you to make a chart just like mine. I turned my notebook sideways. Here's that red line that I was talking about before. I turned my notebook sideways and I put a decimal right here, because you have learned already that place value goes this way, but after the decimal there's also place values, which we will learn later this week or next week. But we're going to put our decimal there, and then we're going to make this chart: ones, tens, hundreds, and then put a dark line. Thousands, 10,000, 100,000s, and then put a dark line. Millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and put a dark line. Billions, 10 billions, 100 billions, and put a dark line. You're going to make this chart because we're going to write some numbers down there. So please pause the video, get this chart all written down, and then press play again. Hopefully you've paused the video. That was enough time to get your chart made. This is our place value chart, and something I want to point out here specifically is why I put these lines here. There are our place values come in sets of 3. So we have one set of 3 there, one set of 3 there. These are the names for the value that the number holds within this set. So they come in sets of 3, and you will notice that they repeat. We never repeat the ones, but we definitely repeat the tens and the hundreds. Everyone starts with a new name. We don't replace the thousands either. We don't replace the millions. We don't replace the billions, and we never replace the trillions. So we have ones, thousands, millions, billions, trillions that lead each set. Then we have tens, hundreds, tens, hundreds, tens, hundreds, tens, hundreds. It's a continual pattern. Our numbers go in patterns. So let's get a number in here. Let's say that we have whoa, that looks like a really big number, doesn't it? Well, each one of the numbers here has a value, and the place values up here tell you how much it is worth. It could be worth something really, really small, or it could be worth something really big. But we have an 8 in the ones place value, and we have a 7 in the 100 billions. Now this 7, if we were just to compare them, 8 compared to 7, we know that 8 is bigger than 7. If I have 8 items, I have more than 7. But in this case, because the 8 is in the ones, that place value, and the 7 is in the 100 billions, this 7 is worth way more than this 8. That's why we have to have place values. Because the numbers by themselves, we can compare them like I did the 7 and the 8 down here. But if they're in a certain place value, they mean more than just that number. So that 7 in that place value is the value of boom, 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 that much. This is worth, this one little number here, this 7 is worth this much, and this 8 is worth just this much. So if we were to compare the two, we would definitely say that that's a bigger number than that 8. That's why we deal with place values. I'm going to show you some different ways that we can write these place values, the numbers to show place value. Here we have standard form. Standard form is simply the number. So remember how I said they come in sets of 3? 3 place values are ones, tens, hundreds. We always put a comma. We start at the right-hand side and count over, and we put a comma. We start at the after that one, 1, 2, 3, count 3, put a comma. This is standard form. This is 3,201,976 in standard form. Standard form is just the numbers. We also have expanded form here. Expanded form means that we took the number and we stretched out each of the place values. And we put, okay, well the 3 is not just a 3, it's 3 million. The 2 is not just a 2, it's 200,000. The 1 is not just a 1, it's 1,000. And we add them all together, 970 and 6. And when we add all of these together, we get this in standard form. But this is just stretching them out to show the value of each number. Then down here we have in word form. This means just take the words that I would say and we write them out. 3,201,900. Oh, that should say 1,000. I missed something there. 901,000. Oopsie. Hey, everybody makes mistakes. So this should say 3,201,976. That's the number in word form. I always like to leave the videos with a secret number. Now I will give you clues and you have to keep track of these clues until you think you know what the secret number is. So in your notebook you can go ahead and write the clue down, and then if you want to take a guess you can, but I will see your secret guess of your, I will see your guess of the secret number in your class kick, and I'll tell you that when you get to the table. So this secret number, I'm going to tell you the very first clue, because there's going to be a couple of them. The very first clue is that the secret number is 4 digits long, which means that it is in the thousands. It is 4 digits long. That's my first clue. You may or may not be able to guess it from the first clue. And if you can, that's wonderful. The next thing, if you have more time in your rotation, you may go ahead and click over to Class Kick. I'll show you how to use that today. And then we'll be doing rotation soon. So, as always, happy mathing.